there, Richard. Are you okay?
Wilkesy, I'm very okay. I'm very much looking forward to the Euros.
Yes, me too. I believe the festival of football is amongst us.
Is that what? Is that what? Is that what people are calling it?
It's what I'm calling it.
It's fine.
Are you ready for Euro 2024?
I think so.
Okay, maybe this will help you. Are you aware of the official song for this year?
I'm aware, but let's hear it. Yeah, as I said, I heard it before, and I think it's good. I enjoy it. Yeah, it's very much in the sort of dance vibes that the Euros goes for, which kind of kicked off in around 2016. That's the sort of vibe they go for now. Yeah, happy with it.
Doesn't offend anyone, but it doesn't even do much either, does it?
Yeah. Yes,
Such a nothing band, One Republic.
Oh, here we go.
They're
The music
harmless.
critic has come out.
If somebody told me their favourite band was One Republic, I would have questions.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so 2024 is in Germany this year. I'm obviously happy with the one host. I'm also very happy that it's Germany. They're reliable, aren't they?
Safe hands. They've done this before. 2006 World Cup, 88 championships, long time ago now, but yeah, they know what they're doing.
So shall we start actually talking about football? And as we're talking about Germany, should we start with the hosts?
Yeah, please. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Are they favourites to win? Do they have home advantage?
They certainly have home advantage, and I think that will be a really big thing for them. It's a huge advantage. Germany have had a bit of a rough time in tournaments in recent years, but they've got a really good squad. Julian Nagelsmann, the manager, since September last year. So, yeah, fresh start. Toni Kroos's last tournament. It'll be the last tournament for possibly one or two others. Manuel Neuer, Thomas Muller are sort of getting on. They've been around since the 2010 World Cup. And, yeah, some young, exciting players. I think... I don't know. I don't want to go too early. I think I'm going to pick them to win it.
You normally do go for Germany, I would say. You've got a soft spot for Germany, don't you?
I've got a soft spot for Germany, but they are just a good, consistent tournament team. Usually, I know in recent times they've let us down a little bit, but no, I've probably backed them before. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for them again. Yeah.
And as hosts, what are we expecting? Like, I've got a few things for you to quickly have a look at.
Mm.
You know, I like a mascot, and previous years haven't been that great. But the mascot this year is this little guy.
That's
Albert.
Right.
Yes.
Albert. That's it.
Yeah, this is a little bear. He looks all right, actually. He was voted by UEFA members and school children.
Oh, right. Was there a shortlist?
Or his name was, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's all right. He's fine.
Is he going to be out there? Do you reckon we'll see him again during the tournament?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Is that why they're so forgettable? Do they not dress them up and get out there?
I think they do, but I think that obviously the TV cameras don't go for him, do they?
They're too busy going for women in the crowd.
Yeah, they don't even show the opening ceremony anymore. So we probably won't get to see One Republic performing their new song.
They'll be gutted.
We're both wearing kits today, aren't we?
We're both wearing kits. We've both gone for Euro 2000 numbers, I see. That was a coincidence.
Yeah. Based on I only own two. Actually, no, I've got a few England kits, but I will be rotating, which I'm guessing you will not be.
I don't need to rotate, baby. But I've kicked off strong with this one. Euro 2000, Italy, the Kappa, stretchy stuff, Maldini print, arm patches. Yeah. We're here.
Any kits you like from 2024?
I like a lot of the kits from 2024. I've picked out what I think are my 5 favourites, but I am allowed to change my mind when I see them in action and in the tournament. But at the moment, I'm going for...
Shall we do a little countdown thing here?
Let's do it.
Boom. Okay, what's in the number 5?
Italy away. I think the colourway with the blue, red, white, and green shouldn't work, but it does. Brilliant.
Number 4.
I'm going to go for Scotland, the home shirt. I think they've got home and away that are really, really nice, but that home shirt with a little bit of the tartan, it's a little bit out there. The yellow trim's good, and I really like it.
Number 3.
Again, England have got 2 strong kits, but I've picked the away one. I believe it's been called Raisin in colour. They cross between the red and the blue. It isn't. That makes like a real solid purple, but we'll forgive it. It's a lovely looking shirt. I like the side panels, and I like the colour.
Good. And then number 2.
France away. That the little pinstripes on the white with the flag going across it in terms of the colours of the pinstripes. Original, but also a bit of a throwback to the 80s as well, and I'm a huge fan.
And number 1, your favourite kit, asterisk, until he sees them in action, where he might change his mind.
Well, you said I've got a soft spot for Germany, and I like their away one, which is pink, but the home, oh my gosh, it just it works wonders with the flag colours on the sleeves here, on the shoulders, looking really, really lovely. It's yeah, that's my favourite.
Lovely, lovely stuff. So if you've got around £85 or £100 if you want shirt printing, you can get one of those kits. Have you got any on order yet?
I've got the England and the Germany on order, ready to come. Should be here in time for the start. Yeah,
The next podcast.
hopefully. Yeah.
Good, lovely stuff. Okay, so shall we actually talk a little bit about football here?
Probably.
And actual games. Anything you're looking forward to seeing? What games interest you? Is there a group of death? Is there a piss easy group?
There is a group of death. There's a couple of piss easy groups.
What do they call it? What they call it? The group of death, but they need another
group
one.
of life.
The group of piss.
The group of life.
True, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So who's
there is
the
a
group of death?
That would be Group B. That is Spain, Croatia, Italy, and Albania are propping up that one.
Yeah, let's take Albania out of that. So anything on those 3 teams? Have they played each other much recently?
They have got a lot of recent history. So they've played each other several times since the 2012 tournament. And I know that's going back a little bit, but you've played each other several times in the last few tournaments. Their head-to-heads are quite incredible, you know, in terms of the luck of the draw. Spain have played these 2 teams 13 times. These are all competitive, all tournament football. Italy 11 times. Croatia have played 9 of those games. And Spain, excuse me, their win percentage is 61.5%. They've won 8 of those 13 games. So Spain have got the upper hand in terms of those head-to-heads. And quite a few of those games have been in the last 3 or 4 years as well. So, yeah, that could be fun.
And have you got a prediction of who you think's going to get the furthest out of those 3?
It's tough. They've all got quite good recent sort of tournament pedigree. Weirdly enough, Spain less so than the other 2, considering their history of the last sort of 15 years. But I probably would back Spain. They have also changed manager in the last year. De La Fuente is their manager. I think unbeaten. I think they've maybe not unbeaten. They played 14-1-10 of his games in charge. I know that much. Yeah, and I think their squad, it's a Spain squad, so it's strong. Their starting 11 is not inspiring, but I think they might just sneak it, that group.
Okay.
I mean,
Croatia's the team that people do forget, and I would almost call them the original dark horse. We'll get into more dark horses later. But yeah, their recent record's been pretty good, and they always seem to be that third team up, don't they?
Yeah, they do seem to be able to spring a surprise on people because they're not seen as one of that kind of 6 to 8 elite international European sides. They've reached the last stages of several tournaments, including like the Nations League as well, which I know some people aren't a fan of, but it pits teams, you know, who are of relatively similar strength. So it's a difficult tournament to do well in. Yeah, they've done really well. So Spain, Croatia is the first one up in that group. Italy get Albania, so that's potentially an advantage for Italy to sort of get ahead, if you like. And then Croatia and Italy are the final game in that group. So that could be a head-to-head. Who knows? But a lot of intrigue around that group for me. I'm going to give Spain the tip there and say that they'll win that group.
Could they go all the way? Are they one of your favourites?
I think this is an open tournament generally. So they're one of about 6 that I generally think can win it.
But then, when has it been a close tournament in past times? When do you think? Maybe Spain in 2012.
That's a good question. Yeah, probably Spain. France were probably expected to win the 2000 Euros. We're going back a bit there.
Still 94. It kind of is the nature of cup football.
Yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. There is just something about this. I'm not sure. I can't put my finger on it. It's just there's just no one. France seem to be a lot of people's favourites, and understandably so.
Do you not think it could be you're blinded by your own country and it's England? And say England go on and win it, people will be going, yeah.
Well, of course they were going to go on with it. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But we just obviously don't have that confidence.
It is difficult when, your team's got good.
Let's talk about England then. So they are favourites to win this competition. Southgate has announced these squads. Are you happy with the squads? Is there anyone you would have instead?
I mean, everyone, my favourite's not in there. Oh, like, just get over it. Like, it's just a good squad. I'd rather he picked the players that he was comfortable with than someone. So take Rashford and Grealish, for example, okay? He was clearly not in Gareth Southgate's plans. Obviously, they could have gone to the tournament. They were probably on the cusp. But if you take them, they're expected to play. And that can be a problem if you're not really sure that you're going to play them and that you're that interested in them. So it's much more beneficial to have a few players, of which I'd say there are a lot, that are kind of just happy to be there, but they are good enough as well. They're kind of, it's really flip of a coin. Dominic Solanke, he could have been in this squad instead of Ivan Toney, but really it's neither here nor there. And as I say, with Grealish and with Maddison, their form wasn't good. He's picked players that are in better form and with less expectation, but with possibly more to prove as well. They're going to be really hungry.
I think, like you say, Rashford and Grealish, I'll add Henderson to the pile there. It's just what Southgate does. He gets criticised for being boring. Look, international football, as a manager, it's good to be boring. You know, and what he does, he just extinguishes all sort of drama, any sort of distractions that can get to the squad. Those 3 players, Henderson, the last year he's had with going to Saudi and the criticism he got for that. Rashford, it's weird how he's so high profile and gets criticised normally for positive things, and now it's turned into negative with his nights out and things like that. And then Grealish.
With Rashford, it's funny because he didn't even get to the preliminary squad. And again, I think that's good management from Southgate, because he knows he's probably going to cut him. So don't cut him and make a headline later on when it's a few days out from the tournament. Let people kind of forget about that and make a sort of more of a drama of that 3 weeks out or whenever that was announced. Again, I think that's just pretty smart play.
And with Grealish, like, I don't want to be a killjoy, because last year when they won the treble, I thought fair play, watching him drunk on the buses and stuff like that and going on a massive bender. I thought that's brilliant. And then he kind of did that again this year. And it probably wasn't the wisest thing to do when you've got to be at a Euro tournament in a few weeks. And I don't know, I'm sure Southgate has already made his mind up by then, but it's all very good when you're on top and you're untouchable. But if you can be touchable, as it were, it is an excuse to go, actually, I don't need that distraction from you. I want boring players.
Yeah, I would have liked Grealish to be in the squad. I do like him. If it was my squad, he'd go in, but I'm not going to get upset about it. We've got so many good attacking players in that area.
And Southgate, as a manager, he's been there 8 years now.
Yeah.
And before that, he was under 21s. And I think we've got to look at the squad that he took on 8 years ago and how he just, with ease, just moved players off. People like Rooney, it just wasn't a problem.
Yeah, people will forget about the way Rooney was. He could have been hanging around for so much longer. He was actually doing okay at Everton when Southgate decided, actually, I'm looking at something newer, fresher.
Okay, you can question tactically, has he got enough to get us across the line? But it's all about, he'll be judged by if he brings a trophy back or not. You know, Ancelotti is a boring manager, but you cannot argue with what he's won.
Yeah. I think what's happened with Southgate is that he had a lot of love because he turned a team around from Iceland in 2016 to a team that got to the semi-finals of the World Cup. And then as England improved as a team and quality players started coming through, expectations just gone up and up and up. And now it's a case of, if you don't win this, you've been a failure. And it's really difficult to decide how harsh that is. I think it probably is harsh because if England get to another final and lose on penalties, what do you want him to do about it? You need a lot of luck to win an international tournament. And I don't just mean in a penalty shootout. You need a lot of luck.
I guess that's what separates the world-class managers and not, you know, people like Kevin Keegan, who were admired in that, but because they've got nothing to show for it, very much forgotten. There's probably better examples than that.
So, in terms of advancing, England are clearly favourites to win this group, although I think it's a much trickier group than people think it is. But Group C, which is England's group, and Group F, which is, I believe, Portugal's group, they're the only two groups where the winners are guaranteed not to play another group winner until the semi-finals. So if England finish first in the group, they'll play a third place team first. They'll then, in the quarterfinals, meet one of a pair of runners-up, and then is the first time in the semis that you can meet a group winner. And that is a huge advantage with the draw and the format of this tournament. So England need to win the group, and it would likely be France if things pan out the way we think they will. Doesn't always happen in international tournaments, but France in the semi-finals.
Oh,
so England's record in the last 2 years. This is competitive only, so no friendlies. Played 19, won 9, drawn 6, lost 4, goal difference of 21.
Okay, so we're thinking England can win it then, can we? Do we?
They can win it, of course. I don't think they're going to win it, but I suppose that's much easier to say than they're going to win it. No, I don't think they will. I think it looks. I think I said that at the last Euros as well, but no, I do think it's going to be a step too far. And even if they got to the final, possibly facing Germany, you know how I feel about
that. You support Germany, don't you, in that fixture?
Well,
because you've got your new kit on.
Yeah, I have my new kit on.
Now, I'm going to say England are going to win it based on it has to happen one day. It just has to happen because it doesn't, does it? It could just be like this forever. But, you know,
it will happen one day. Maybe not in our lifetime, but one day.
No, the podcast will be far dead by then.
Do you think an 11 of Pope, James, Maguire, Branthwaite, Chilwell, Ward-Prowse, Maddison, Mount, Sancho, Rashford and Grealish is and bearing in mind those have all been left out, I'm sure everyone realises that, is that a better 11 than some of the 11s England have fielded at previous tournaments?
If we take form out of the equation, I think that's an important factor, isn't it?
Because, yeah, definitely.
So if we're taking those players at their best, I guess, then yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, you realise after the golden generation, it was not as golden after that. That 10 years, Rooney was the sort of standout,
Yeah.
and he was just surrounded by, as I like to say, Walcotts.
Well, it's funny you say Walcott. All I'll say is have a look at that 11 that we fielded in the group stages of 2012 against Sweden in particular. Yeesh. We will be watching you.
Sweet England time. Oh, yes. So, if we are going to win the Euros, we're probably going to need a good song, aren't we?
No, but it'd be nice to have one.
Do they not correlate?
Not so far.
This is Mr. England, if you can hear this.
Don't like it, Wilkesy.
One thing I would say, at least he's changed the words. So that's Sweet England Time by Mr. England, who he's got a few of
really
these
can't
songs,
stand
actually.
Sweet Caroline. I think you know.
I
this,
hate
but
it, yeah. We've got England Forever. Here's another one. So that's England Forever. That sounded more like a war chant. We won't stop fighting forever.
Yeah.
They all sound that shit production, you know, when it feels like your mate's band.
Yeah, it's better than anything I could pull off, but and it's better than the last one we heard. But yeah, it's okay.
I say I can't really mock listening to your mate's band because I'm sure a lot of our mates feel the same thing about this podcast.
It's like listening to your mate's podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favourite crap England song?
Favourite crap England song?
Yeah.
I've got a soft spot for We're on the Ball by Ant and Dec.
Good.
I think that's the only... Oh, I quite like El Tel, England Crazy.
Oh, that's good. What about Sven 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 by...
It started to irritate me after a while, but it's okay, it's fine.
Yeah, it was quite good, yeah. I'll tell you mine, and it fits kind of for this tournament in Germany, and that is Infernal, London to Berlin. They changed it from Paris to Berlin, the song they actually came out with, and they changed it up for England, changed the lyrics around. It's cheesy as hell dance, but I like it.
It is good, and I've done a little bit of research, and I think what we're going to find this year is every country is going to have their own version of this. And I've got the Scottish version.
I didn't realise that other teams had recorded this for themselves for this tournament.
I guess I guess France have just left it the same, have they? Just gone with the original.
Paris to Berlin works.
Okay, so I'm saying England are going to win. You're saying Germany are going to win. Who else is going to win?
Well, just matches. I mean, there's only one tournament winner, but some teams that might win some football matches. Portugal are really interesting me. I talked about the route, and like England, they've got a run to the semi-finals where they don't have to play another group winner if they win their group. And I looked at results from and including the World Cup since then, Looked at the expected goals and looked at then expected wins based on those results and points. So from that, Portugal lead the way. Portugal have the highest points, goals, expected goals, goal difference, and expected goal difference, as well as the second best expected points per game ratio of anyone else at this tournament. They've had some really strong results and good underlying numbers to back it up. The squad looks good. I think they could be a really interesting one, and I do expect them to go to the semi-finals without too much bother. Belgium could fly under the radar a little bit here. They've kind of, go on.
Belgium, just it feels like they had their moment with their golden generation, and they've just been written off now. It's kind of like they've had,
and I think that's how a lot of people feel, but they've still got a really good side. Never mind Pepe, who's still playing from at 41, the oldest player at the tournament, but they've still got good players, and I think that it could be an interesting one.
Okay, well, let's move on to dark horses. You don't like the term dark horses, do you?
Is that the same as a surprise package?
Yes.
I don't think it is. I think a dark horse is someone that is a slight outsider that can win the tournament. I think a surprise package is like Denmark from the last Euros or Morocco at the last World Cup. But
well, I looked at where the term dark horses come from, and it's very boring. It's just a betting horse racing, and it's just about a horse that they didn't know much about.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Netherlands, they're 7th favourites at 18-1, I think. Are they dark horses?
Well, they're the best dark horse.
Yeah, there's no one coming from nowhere, I wouldn't have said. And they haven't got a good recent international pedigree, particularly. So, they could be a good shout. If I was going for an outsider on the bets, I'd go for them.
I go for them on a similar basis to England, where it's got to happen soon enough. It's got to happen. I know they won it in 88, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But that's a long time, and they must be thinking the same as us.
Yeah, they've Netherlands have had amongst the toughest fixtures, but a really, really good recent record. It'll be difficult for the Netherlands to win their group being with France. That's going to be a really intriguing game in the group stage, of course, as well. I think Netherlands could face Portugal in the quarterfinals, I think. So if they can get through that, who knows?
And then any other sorts of surprise packages?
Yeah, tricky. We're getting really into the weeds of it now. So Turkey have had a really good record of the last couple of years, but their opposition faced is not particularly good. They're in a lower Nations League division. Scotland, again, really good record. Similar thing going on there, but they've been doing well. Switzerland are an intriguing one to me. They always sort of get to the last 16, might push a quarter final, but if you looked at their XG is good, but their actual results have been lacking, which teams that underperform their XG on a regular basis are often telling you that it's, the quality of the finishing is maybe not there, or they're just lacking that little something. Whereas elite sides tend to outscore their XG because they've got elite players. But their record is decent. I think Brie Lambolo is unlikely to be fit, or certainly not for maybe the first game or two, so that would be a blow. And then the only other one is Hungary. They look interesting. They haven't won or done anything at a tournament in about 60 years, but they haven't lost competitively since September 2022. They've had some really difficult competitive fixtures. They've won 8, drawn 4, and lost 2 competitively in the last 2 years. So, good recent record.
Well, I said I was going to go Netherlands, but I don't think we can have them as a surprise package.
No.
So I'm going to go with Scotland on the basis, and you're going to probably you can probably get me with your little numbers and things that discount this, but just because they're playing the host on the opening game, and sometimes you get an upset there, and then they go on and do quite well, and the host shits the bed.
Yeah, I mean,
can do.
Can happen. Yeah. If Scotland get out of the group, that would be the first time they've ever done that. So, yeah, World Cup or European Championship. So that would be a surprise. So there you go.
So if I'm predicting that's going to happen, then that leads us to who's going to bottle it. And I'm saying Germany are going to bottle it.
Oh, no! No, I can't have that.
Who's going to bottle it?
Oh, it's not England, is it?
You are one pathetic.
Well, is it England?
Well, what I was saying earlier about like it's our time to win it, it's probably also our time to bottle it as well.
Yeah. I don't know where we end up where people are going to assess and what bottling is. If we go out in the quarterfinals, is that bottling? But we lost to
I think bottling is not qualifying part for our group, which is a complete disaster.
Yeah. I'm going to go for Italy.
But they didn't get to the World Cup.
No, their recent World Cup record is horrendous. They haven't won a knockout World Cup game since 2006. Haven't qualified for the last couple. I get it, but it's harder to qualify for the World Cup anyway these days than it is the European Championships. But
right.
I don't know. Luciano Spalletti, the manager, since last year, they've been on a decent run. To be fair, I think this one will come back to bite me. But they're in that tough group, and someone's possibly got to be the fall guy in that, or at least come third in it. So go on, I'll say Italy.
Okay, and then just thinking like Italy, they've got the most managers, and there are 5 Italians managers in this tournament.
5 Italian managers at this tournament. So I've mentioned Spalletti, the Italy manager, Domenico Tedesco for Belgium, Marco Rossi is the Hungary manager, Vincenzo Montella, a name perhaps more familiar to many, he's the Turkey manager, and Francesco Calzona, the Slovakia manager. Yeah, 5 of them. So the oldest player we've said is Pepe. The youngest player that's been picked for this tournament is Yamina Lamal, 16 years old, in the Spain squad. Had a brilliant year for Barcelona.
Yes.
5 goals, 5 assists in 22 starts in La Liga. Not bad at all.
Is he going to play?
He could be expected to start, yeah. There's a good chance.
Let's talk about players. Ones to watch. Are you going to watch some players?
Yeah, just watch everyone. Just watch all the good players.
All of them.
Don't worry about one player. Watch players.
Yeah, but what if I want to be specific and I just want to watch one player?
Well, all right. So I've mentioned Yamina Lamal, Spain, 16 years old. Could be starting, but could come on. Look out for him. That's the youngest player at the tournament. That could be interesting. But, you know, Kylian Mbappe, he's favourite to be the top scorer. 27 goals, 7 assists in Liga this season. Phenomenal records. You know, probably a bit of a boring answer, isn't it? But he's a pretty good shout to be the top scorer.
Is it worth talking about Cristiano Ronaldo? Is he going to play?
Is he going to play? Is Cristiano going to play? Has he got one more run left in him?
Is his 6th tournament?
Yeah. That is a record, I believe. So, yeah, probably his last tournament. Do you think he'll be there in a couple of years?
No, I don't think he will be. No.
30 players at this tournament have 100 caps or more. I do think there's a lot of experience knocking around. That feels like a lot.
It does. 30 players, yeah. But then I guess they're playing more games, aren't they? So I think that's it for our preview shows. There's lots to say, but I think we're going to let Friday do the talking, aren't we?
That is the best way to do this. I've enjoyed the chat. Hopefully some useful little bits and pieces, some predictions that are going to bite us on the arse, but that's all from me.
Yeah, and please follow us on our socials.
Get us on the socials. And if you want to support us, subscribing is the way to do it.
Lots of great things on there. And we'll be doing plenty of these during the tournament. So enjoy your football, everybody.
From London to Berlin and every game that England win, we're going